Welcome back. So today we're going to talk about price versus cost. Okay, now you might be thinking, well, what's the difference? Well, when we purchase something, right? When we invest in something, there's generally a price to be paid, right? That's the sticker. That's what you see. That's, the transactional price that goes along with you now owning whatever the other side of that decision is. And this isn't transactional in just a sense of financial. It's also transactional in a sense of the foods we eat, the exercises we do, the sleep we get or we don't get, the water we drink or we don't drink. All of our choices as we go through life. It doesn't matter where we're at. It doesn't matter. See, what happens is we've paid a lot of prices, but the cost was far more expensive than what we initially paid. What does that mean? Well, let's take weight management, health management, for instance, okay? Outside of exercise, let's just take diet. So let's say we have our diet, and every day, right, we eat a Snickers bar. You need to have a Snickers bar. Normal day, have our Snickers bar. So as you have your Snickers bar, you don't see a problem, right? And slowly but surely, you start finding that you start getting a couple extra inches around the belly, right? You might notice that your energy is now spiking up and down. And you might notice that you're craving more of similar sweet things. And you may have heard the saying, a Snickers bar a day keeps the doctors away, right? That's not true. I'm just saying. You would have never heard that. So what happens is we pay for something and then we live with the cost. Now that cost long term, granted a Snickers bar a day isn't going to kill you in the beginning. You might not even notice it, right? But do you think there would be a difference in the investment of our health if you had a Snickers bar versus an apple? Pretty simple, right? Well, let's say we go out to eat. And I'm like, wow, I'm really, 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 really hungry. So I'm like, I'm going to have, the fried chicken, right? And so I'm like, lay it on me, give me the mashed potatoes, give me the gravy, give me all this stuff, right? I'm hungry. So my eyes are telling me I need all these things. So I eat all these things. And at the end of the meal, I'm leaning back. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was a lot of food. Ugh, I don't feel very good. Right? So I bought it, right? There was the price, what I paid for the meal. I ate the meal, and then there was the cost that affected my energy, my health, extra calories that I got to burn off. Versus say, what if I was craving chicken, right? Now, if I had a chicken salad, and let's say it was a crispy chicken salad, it was still fried chicken, right? But I had all those vegetables around it. I'd probably feel a little bit differently, right? Would you say? Now, let's say it wasn't. Let's say I had something else. Let's say I had a grilled salmon salad, or, if I'm vegetarian or vegan or plant-based, I had a different just plant-based salad with lentils and beans and a refreshing citrus vinaigrette or whatever you would put on your meals, right? Probably feel a little bit different. So when we're looking at the cost of something in the moment, the price of something in the moment, we have to think of the long-term cost, right? What is that going to cost us later? When we buy a cheap or inferior product, and our bodies are not cheap or inferior products, we might be saving a little money up front on the price, but are we really saving any money when it comes to the repairs down the line? Are we really saving any money when it comes to having to replace parts that if we just paid a little bit more in the beginning, maybe it takes a little bit of saving to buy a superior product. But what it costs later is far less than what it would have been if we paid for an inferior product that had to be replaced, either by part or in the whole. And another example of this is I love hiking, I love backpacking, I love being outside. Anything outside I really enjoy. We're the outsiders, right? So it's a part of our DNA, it's a part of our training, it's a part of what we do. I'm a firm believer in investing in the best gear you can for the circumstances you're going to be in. in any situation. In some cases, they might be life-saving. And in this case, when we're looking at food, it is. It is life-saving. Now, there's always going to be circumstances outside of our control, okay? But we're just talking about the ones we have control of. If I have the opportunity to invest in a nicer jacket, a raincoat, waterproof boots, at any level financially that I can afford, at the best that I can afford within my budget, and I invest in those, I'm going to have a far better experience than if I didn't. If you haven't walked around in soggy shoes, you have no idea what I'm talking about, and it's horrible, right? Now imagine doing that for 15, 20 miles. Or imagine doing that on your way to school every day, right? Imagine you wanted a jacket that looked cool, but you live in a rainy environment. So you're going to be wet. You're going to be miserable, but it looks cool temporarily. So you're like, I'll get the cool jacket. I'll wear a garbage bag. Depending on that weather, you're going to recognize that an investment in a nice jacket is going to go a long way. Our health is very much the same way. When we invest in superior products, now here's the cool thing about superior products. They're everywhere and we don't have to create them. That's the fruits and the vegetables. That's a seed that we can plant and create a garden. I mean, they're everywhere. And if you just take a moment and you think about the difference of, let's take your favorite candy bar and notice how that feels if you were to imagine eating that for a moment. And then take your favorite fruit and imagine how that feels. Imagine eating something heavy and deep fried and how that feels, and something light and refreshing and how that feels. Okay? There's going to be differences in feeling, and we want to become very aware of those. So when we start looking at our decisions that we're making, now even in the gym, this translates there too, and we'll talk about that in a second. We want to make sure that we're investing correctly. That not only we're paying the price, but we're also thinking about the cost. So in lifting, let's say you want to lift really heavy. Is the price worth the payout? What is the cost? Right? Do you have the ability, the strength, the mobility, the range, and the control to do that? The energy, the rest, and the neurological efficiency to do that? Or does it need to be developed? Do you get more from less? Can you change a different or manipulate a different variable to get the same result differently? Right? Not at the cost of your body. So a few things just to think about. What is the price of your decision? What is the cost of your decision? What is the payout that you're looking for? So ponder that for a moment, price versus cost. And are you making the right decisions? And I would love to hear in the comments below or in messages, where could you start making some of those changes in your investments? Have a wonderful day. I hope this video helps in decision making. Have a great day.